hidden in the deepest forest glades amongst the elder branches of their sacred wards, is the realm of a beautiful, pernicious people. The elves. Ancient sylvan spirits given form, the self-asserted, nobly motivated elves claim to be the protectors of the woodland, an aim that many believe masks their true intentions.
Well, hello you bearded bastards, and welcome back once again to Thistar Saxul, Crimsontrumpets. And we were just surprised by a visit from the elves. I gotta be honest with you, I am pretty tempted just to attack these people straight off the bat here, which might seem cruel, I'm sure, but they're here to trade right now, and it's a nice idea just to be like, oh, we'll just trade some little fruits or berries or whatever the hell with them. But an alliance with the elves always fails. They're probing us is what they're doing, seeing what we're capable of, seeing what we're about. They send these trade caravans just to act like they're playing nice for a while, but then the requests start. They'll ask us to stop cutting down trees, start setting limits on our trees that we can cut down, and that includes underground trees, the mushrooms, and sometimes that won't even be good enough for them. They'll just start attacking us. So, no. For as peaceful as they look, traditional elven culture is pretty warlike and overall terrible, though individual elves are usually pretty fine. It's a societal thing. Anyways, it might be worth it to play nice for a little bit. They can be a good source of war animals, which would be excellent to play around with. Sometimes they can bring like a grizzly bear or a tiger or something like that. We'll have to keep our eyes open. Right at the moment, it seems they've only brought a giant red squirrel, so that's not going to help us too much. But yeah, we'll take advantage of them for a little bit. Might as well, right? We have to figure out some stuff to trade, and we really don't have a lot. Like, we have our weapons that we have, our silver maces that we really need right now to start training with, and they won't accept anything made of wood. So yeah, screw them. Just gonna refuse to do business with them for now. We don't really want trouble, but they got nothing for us. So, probe away, you bastards. Anyways.
A forest can hold an endless bounty for those who know where to look. Wild game, various forageables, and of course, lumber. But one must always remember that the forest cares not for those who would pillage its groves, and caution is best when traveling the woodland domains. For the brief, stunning moments of beauty seen in the forest belie its utterly uncaring nature.
Back to business. Over here you can see the silver clubs training away. We do have a few actual trained mace dwarves now, and it really hasn't taken that long, so that's good. Remember, they still have no armor. That's our top priority currently. We're mining out that tetrahedrite we found down below, and we're going to get that turned into armor ASAP. And another thing we're going to have to do ASAP and keep on top of is having some lookouts up top in the form of our dogs. We have a bunch of these dogs here, remember? Can't forget that. We're going to have to get our hands on some copper chains and put those up on the surface. And then we'll put our dogs on those chains. And they'll act as an early warning system in case of werebeasts. If we don't know those things are coming, then that could be the end of our fortress right there. So yeah, we'll get to that shortly. Just realizing we haven't touched on the date yet. Right now it's the 14th of Slate 244, the beginning of our second year. And I mean, that's kind of the big reason why I'm so panicky right now. We can really expect things to show up at any point now. Things are going to start getting rough, I'm thinking. And that being the case, we're going to try to keep pretty close tabs on our work orders here. You can see we're making 10 helms, breastplates, gauntlets, high boots, and greaves. Quite a bit to get through. It's going to take some time, but it'll get done. And also, because our smiths are going to be focusing pretty much solely on making armor for the foreseeable future, we're not going to be able to make any metal chains very quickly at all. And so what we're going to do is make little pasture areas out here and just hope these puppies stay outside along our perimeter. Yes, we're using puppies in fortress defense, which seems cruel. It is, I guess. But it's something we have to do. Again, if a werebeast shows up, we could be screwed. These pups may well save Crimsontrumpets. So many concerns. Just having a look at our food stockpiles right now, and they're not great. We have been surviving, we're not starving at all, but we keep running out of drinks. Just because, we don't have any farms going quite yet. Every once in a while, we have to come down here and start harvesting plants, just, growing out here in the caverns. It's kind of an interesting system. It has been working for us, but I don't know how long we'll be able to maintain it. Hopefully we get another migrant wave soon, and we could do a little something more than this. Oh, looks like our miners have discovered another cavern deep underground. Well, that's interesting. Well, let's have a closer look. Okay, judging from the looks of this one, it does appear to be a pretty large layer of cavern. Tall, very tall, expansive. A lot of places to move out into. I did notice this really cool plateau over here in the north. Well, to the north of our tunnel. It does have potential, though judging by the mushrooms that are here, this is only the second cavern layer. I was really hoping to make a fortress down in the third. Well, that's fine. We'll have to keep it in mind. Maybe this place will be better than the third, but I suppose we'll have to see the third to be able to tell, huh? Yeah, we'll continue on our way down for now. Man, this place is gonna go downhill quickly. I'm gonna tell you that much. Forgotten beasts aplenty. It's fine. It'll be fine. Oh, I think I got it. Okay. This is going to take a bit longer than our original plan, which was just to coil our way down to the third cavern. What we're going to do is like we did up top of the King's Hall. We're going to take this tunnel here out over the caverns, build another bridge, and then continue down once more. It's going to be a long, winding way to get down to our fortress, but that'll give us a lot of opportunities to make some nice staging areas and places where we could use like siege weapons and stuff. So it's going to be worth it. Just going to take our time with it. We're not in any huge rush to forge a proper home quite yet. We'll get there. Having a look back at our work orders, things are actually coming along pretty quickly. We have 4 of the helmets made, 3 breastplates. Yeah, not too bad. Okay. We'll have full suits of armor in no time, really. The unfortunate thing is that most of our smiths are in the military right now, so they can't train while they're making this equipment. So it's a very good thing that it's not taking too long. Keep at it, dwarves. We'll be back on track in no time. Having a look back up here in this tunnel, you can see we've carved out the walls a bit and freed those horses, which I've been in here for almost a year. Those poor animals. But yeah, they're fine. No worries. What we're trying to do is replace these walls in here so the water stops coming out of them. Can't have this water screwing us up again, you know? Also have work started on this bridge down here. It's coming along slowly. Just got a notification that all of our helms are finished. That's good. Food and drink stockpiles are stabilizing a bit. Trying to get on top of that. Not looking bad. Oop. Just finished all our breastplates. Excellent. Okay, we're starting to look pretty good, I say. If you have a look down here in our fitness room, you can see a couple of dwarves training at the pumps. I'm only keeping a couple of those active at a time just because we're not training currently. We still have yet to see if anybody actually gets any stronger from doing this. Trying to keep my hopes up about it. Oh, hey, there we go. Finally, I've been waiting for this. Oh, well, hold up. We just got Migrant Wave, and one of our new migrants is a necromancer. Very, very interesting.
Ageless villains and masterminds with the power to reverse death and bend long-dead corpses to their will. The necromancers of the infinite domains are self-serving weavers of lost secrets best left forgotten. Most often they inhabit lost towers, seen lurching upwards from rotten marshes, or in dusty desert caverns far removed from prying eyes.
That being said, we don't want anything to do with them, and so we're going to expel them immediately. Done deal, get the hell out of here. We're not going to want anything to do with necromancy here. And so if we ever have any of these bastards show up, they're getting kicked straight out. Whoa, hey now. It looks like one of our dwarves has entered a strange mood. That's very interesting. That being said, I don't know what the hell they're doing right now. What are you doing? I don't know what this person's doing right now. That's odd. Normally when a dwarf gets a strange mood, they go to find a workshop. They claim it, they find all the materials they need. This person here has just walked out into the middle of this field and seemed to be just hanging out. Why would that be? That's very odd. There's nothing here in this area. There's no zones, no pastures even, no meeting hall. Like if they don't have an appropriate workshop, they would go and just sit in the meeting hall with all the other dwarves. But this one here's not doing that. I don't know why the hell that would be. That's very strange. Yeah, I'm trying to take a look and, like, we have a whole selection of workshops here. I'm not sure. I really don't know what's going on here. That's strange. Very odd. I'm gonna try throwing up a craft dwarf workshop over here. Maybe that'll do the trick. Okay, yeah, they're running back to the fortress now. That's very strange. I have no idea why they walked out into that field right there. But yeah, that looks to have done the trick. Excellent. Whew, got a little scared there. If we didn't have the right workshop, they would have gone insane. And we don't want that, certainly.
A phenomenon unique to the dwarves, strange moods as they're collectively called, encompass a wide array of strange states that a dwarven mind can enter. A fey mood, one of the most common moods, can take hold when a dwarf is overwhelmed by their collected thoughts. Thoughts of life, of death, and various intangible emotions can trigger a dwarf, sending them into a creative frenzy. Their urgent attempt to make a permanent mark on the infinite domains.
Now, I'm going to want to keep an eye on Ubble here, that's their name, just because it's very interesting to see what they'll choose in terms of their items. Never can tell. Looks like the first item, this artifact's base, is going to be wood. Bound to happen. Now, we do have some options here. Dwarves in a strange mood are usually pretty single-minded. They'll grab an item, go back to their workshop, start work. Not much else you can do, but sometimes if they grab an item, you can mark it as forbidden. They'll still bring it back, but they won't use it in the artifact. But then they'll go grab something else. So, like, something you could potentially do is just keep forbidding items and they'll go and grab different things. So like if you forbid a piece of wood and then make all of that type of wood forbidden on the map, they'll go grab a different kind of wood. Like say if I wanted to use like mushroom trees underground, just as an example, I might be toying around with that in the future. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, it's going to be a wooden artifact, a craft too, so it's not going to be too exciting, but that's bound to happen. Usually how it goes in early fortress life. Dwarves aren't quite that inspired yet, I don't think. Oh, you know what I just noticed actually? This bastard over here. We have another necromancer. Must have came in that migrant wave. I didn't see them before. Yeah, you can get the hell out of here. No interest. Yeah, they're on their way out. We're not going to have any necromancers here, as I said. Look at this little creep, too. Not even leaving through the surface. Going out down here through the caves. Slinking away into the endless tunnels beneath the infinite domains. Who knows where they'll pop up again. Hopefully not around here. Back to this strange mood dwarf. It looks like they have everything they need now. That's pretty good. They are going to make their artifact out of wood primarily, it looks like. Actually, having a look here, we have 3 logs and some rough green zircons. So this artifact's going to include all those items. Okay, all right, it's not too bad. If I had to guess, I'm going to say a ring. Let's see. We'll give him a moment. Back to that migrant wave. We went from 18 dwarves up to 23 now, so a total of 5 migrants. We would have had 7 if we kept those 2 necromancers, but again, not interested in that whole thing there. Oh, and here we go. Looks like Ubble has created their artifact. Let's have a look. Ubble Lorit Lycott, the silver club / blood taper, has created Steru Senchal, a pecan wood amulet. She claims it as an heirloom in the name of the family ancestor Locum New Floors. Okay, very cool. Also, I was wrong, apparently. Was hoping it to be a ring, damn it. Oh well. Its name translates to drive bud. Alright, now just shifting for a second before we take a look at the actual artifact. I want to have a look at this Locum New Floors, the person who this artifact was made for. And it's kind of interesting. I don't know how exactly they're related to Ubble, but this dwarf was alive when time was first being recorded. And in year 4, they became a chemist. And shortly after that, they were attacked by a cyclops. And then 9 years later, they were attacked by another cyclops. And then 20 years after that second attack, they were attacked by the first cyclops again, by which they were killed. Very, very interesting. 3 encounters with a cyclops. I could see why they'd make an artifact in that dwarf's name. Anyways, yes, shifting back over now, the Steru Senchal, drive bud. This is a pecan wood amulet. All craft dwarfship is of the highest quality, of course. It is encircled with bands of pecan wood. This object menaces with spikes of pecan wood. On the item is an image of dwarves in pecan wood. The dwarves are laboring. The artwork relates to the foundation of Crimsontrumpets by the Crimsontrumpets of the Attic of Horns in the early spring of 243. And to finish it off, on the item is an image of mango trees in green zircon. Not too bad, it's fairly simple of course, but you know, having those mango trees in there and that stunning green zircon really pulls it together. Makes sense too, we're out in this relatively dry prairie sort of an area, and there are plenty of trees here too. I imagine the colors of this particular piece resonate quite well with our actual location. Very cool. We'll get this thing stored away ASAP. And that being the case, what we're going to do is actually carve out a special little chamber over here, and this is going to serve as a temporary vault. Going to take a little bit to get to it, I think. You can see we're giving it a nice long passage there, just so like if anybody disappears down that corridor, it'll give us a nice long amount of time to catch them in the act of stealing our stuff. Assuming anybody is foolish enough to actually come to Crimsontrumpets and steal our artifacts. That'd be a very foolish endeavor. And there we go. Steru Senchal is now safely tucked away. And hey, would you have a look at that? Some more good news, we just had our first fortress birth. A little girl named Lorbam, daughter of Vutak and Minkat, 2 of our starting 7 dwarves. That really is something. Listen here, kid. You could not have chosen a better place to be born into. The dwarves of Crimsontrumpets are the strongest in the infinite domains. You will be well looked after. And hey now, it looks like the dwarven caravans have arrived once again. That is something. Hopefully they actually can do some trading this time. I guess we'll see. To be honest, I didn't think they'd be able to make it down this time, just because we're currently working on this walkway here. I thought for sure the wagons would just kind of like crash on their way down or something. Oh my goodness. Oh, oh no. Okay, did you see that right there? Yeah, maybe not such good news, I guess. It looks like the wagons did turn around and leave. Okay, we're gonna get that hallway 100% complete by next year. That's for sure. Hey. Okay, we do actually have some good news though. Having a look at our work orders, you can see they're chugging straight along. And actually, this is our second round of armor. We've completed full suits for all our warriors, and now we're just working on equipment for another squad. So yeah, our warriors now have armor. Some of it is masterpiece stuff too. Granted, it is copper, but you gotta make do. No choice. Actually, on that subject, we haven't been digging around for new sources of metal all that much, but from what I understand, we might have a chance of finding cassiterite on our map. Cassiterite can be found in granite, which we do have here, a whole bunch of it, a few layers anyways. If we did find some, we could turn that into tin, which we could then make into an alloy, bronze, using the copper that we have. And if we did get bronze, that's about the same as iron. That being said, I'm not too sure how much hope we should hold out, although it couldn't hurt to look around, that's for sure. Maybe we'll make some wormy passages heading through the earth a bit. Gotta be worth it. Back up here to the surface, I'd mentioned earlier that we're making those pens for the puppies to stay in. Well, that hasn't panned out at all. Little bastards won't stay in place. Can't blame them. They are puppies after all. But we're gonna have to start making some chains, I think. Oh, would you look at that too? We have some more migrants. Very good. Yes, come on in, come on in. Hoping for a whole bunch of them, really. You know, I'm thinking we should force 10 of these new migrants into a squad. It might be a good idea to try to keep half our population in the army at any given point. Good to have that backup, just in case. And so we'll keep it simple. We'll give them the silver club uniform, maces and copper armor. Or you know what? Might give them a different type of weapon. I do like the idea of spears. Yeah, we're gonna give them spears. And we'll assign some of these dwarves, 7 of them for now. I think we have enough armor for them, but we still need spears. An important point to note. Having a look back up here in our relatively watery silver mines, you can see things are going pretty well. We have a lot of silver up here. That is excellent. We'll need that surplus. Also need some more people too. We do need these fighters, but we also need more workers. Most of this last migrant wave we put in the military. And just as an update, we are up to 34 dwarves now. Slowly creeping upwards. Oh boy, let's hold up here for a second. Looks like we've run into a problem down here at the south end of the King's Hall. A dwarf has been injured by a giant bat, which is flying around over here,
posing a serious risk to denizens of the deep. Giant bats are highly aggressive mammalian creatures, more than 3 times the size of a dwarf. Usually content to feast on more abundant prey, such as crundles or even the odd gorlak, giant bats would not hesitate to rip into a dwarf, given the chance. This trait makes them particularly valuable to the goblins, who, on occasion, tame these monsters, adding them to the ranks of their terrible armies.
Now I'm gonna attempt to follow the bat and see where it goes. Oh, this thing moves quickly though. Oh boy, okay. It's gonna hold up here for a second. The bat knocked one of the new recruits off the bridge and they're down here now on the ground. Yeah, it looks like the thing's flying off now, back out into the caves. Fortunately, it looks like one of the silver clubs was able to hit the thing in the eye, which exploded its eye. That's not bad. This poor dwarf down here, though, their fighting days may be numbered. Though it is lucky we do have such skilled blood tapers in the fort. I'm confident they'll be able to fix them up at least somewhat. It's pretty easy to forget about what dangers we have lurking out in the caverns. Even something as mundane as a giant bat could be pretty damn dangerous. Might be time to go checking out those caverns in more detail, huh? At least the first level here. It's pretty damn watery out there, so we're gonna have to build some bridges, dig some tunnels, that sort of stuff. But I think it'd be a good idea to at least make sure this entire level is accessible. Would hate to let another bastard like old One Eye here get away from us. Well, oh, would you look at this? We've stopped things for a moment, but we have something going on up here on the surface. Intruders. Spotted by one of our puppies, actually. What a good pup. Anyways, these intruders here appear to be necromancers, a pair of them. That's not good. I doubt they're gonna stick around for very long just now, but let's see what happens. Yeah, they ran right away. Okay. Alright, what we're gonna do right now is send all of the silver clubs up to the surface. That puppy noticed those too, but there could be others out there as well. Right now, we've just entered winter of our 2nd year, and with those necromancers showing up like that, I have a distinct feeling that the calm before this storm is coming to an end. They'll be back, and if they bring zombies, which I'm sure they will, we have to prepare ourselves for a fight. And with that, my bearded bastards, we are now at the end of the episode where we're going to be talking about some behind the scenes things. Now then, we've had another fairly relaxed episode, except for that very end there, getting attacked by that bat and then seeing those necromancers. Honestly, I was thinking we'd see them a little bit sooner than this, but, well, I guess this is fine. We really haven't prepared all too well, honestly. Taking an awful long time trying to build our fortress, that's for sure, but again, that's fine. Kind of a slow burn on this one so far, but I'm liking it. Now, okay, yeah, necromancers. We had some necromancers pop up in microwaves earlier, and I'll tell you what, I'm sick of that whole thing. Big time. It's just something that happens in Dwarf Fortress. Sometimes they'll pop up in microwaves and they can like act as normal dwarves would, except they have like these necromancer powers that are kind of janky. They don't really work very well in Dwarf Fortress, and I'm pretty sure it's a bug too. Like I don't think it's supposed to be happening, but here we are. Whatever. Just gonna exile them. Whole lot of trouble, those necromancers. Hey, I gotta tell you what, just while I'm thinking of it, different subject. The fan art has been stellar. I really appreciate it, you guys. It's all amazing. It used to be back in the day, like I'd show off a piece and then like talk about it a little bit, and it's kind of a shame I can't do that anymore, but it would take so long to go over each one, and like some weeks I get a whole bunch of it, you know, and like it used to be back in the day I would get super backed up on it, and people would get upset that like I couldn't get to their piece in an episode while also talking about it, and I mean that's why I don't talk about each individual piece, but I am glad to be able to show these off, and I guess this kind of works. We have a mutual understanding. If you send it in, then I'll just kind of show it off while talking right now. Just want to let you artists know that I really appreciate it. And if you out there watching right now want to send in some fan art, it can just go over to kruggsmash@gmail.com. And don't be shy either, for real. Each and every single one of you out there is an artist. And I'm not just saying that to be goddamn like corny or anything like that, you know, all like Bob Ross and whatever. It's the goddamn truth. You're an artist. Draw a line on a piece of paper. That's art if you say it's art. Whatever the hell you draw is art. Whatever you create is art, as long as you say it's art. And along with that, I really like seeing what you guys come up with. Never know what's gonna pop up in that email. You know what, also while I'm thinking of it, kind of getting myself into some trouble here with this particular series and the fan art, just cause like, you know, if somebody sends me in like a picture with like, you know, if the nudity goes too far, I get like the dwarves in this series so far are pretty scantily clad, but like, yeah, if it goes too far, then I can't put it in my episode, you know? So if you want to send in some art, just be careful, please. Thank you. I gotta be able to show it in the episode. I haven't had to turn anything away so far, but it's, you know, it's a concern. Still very excited to see how this fortress progresses. I think this is gonna be a good one. I'm having a lot more fun playing this fortress than I have in a long time so far. Let's hope it stays that way. Anyways, my bearded bastards, I really do hope you enjoyed yourselves today. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I certainly hope to see you next time here in the Star Saxul Crimson Trumpets. And until then, you bearded bastards,